I never imagined that a simple wedding invitation from my ex could turn my whole world upside down. It started on a quiet afternoon when I got a message notification that made my heart skip a beat. It was from him, my ex. We hadn't spoken in almost a year. After everything we'd been through, I thought the door between us was shut for good. But there it was, a digital envelope containing an invitation to his wedding. I stared at it for a long time, disbelief washing over me. Why would he invite me? Did he want to reconnect, or was it just a formality? At first, I almost ignored it. Part of me thought it was a mistake. Maybe it was meant for someone else. Or maybe it was just his way of showing that we were still friends in some strange, distant way. But I couldn't shake the feeling that this invitation was a test of sorts, an opportunity to prove I had truly moved on. I spent days torn apart by this decision. Should I go? Was it appropriate? Could I face him after everything? But then there was Jason, my boyfriend. I knew how he'd feel about it. When I finally told him, his reaction was worse than I expected. He didn't just voice his disapproval. He was visibly hurt and angry. "It's disrespectful," he said. "You're inviting trouble by going. Why would you want to go to your ex's wedding? That's not closure. It's opening old wounds." Jason's words stung. I tried to explain my reasons, telling him I wasn't going for my ex or for the past. I was going for me. I needed to close that chapter properly to see that he had moved on, and so had I. I thought it might even bring peace. But no matter how calmly I spoke, he couldn't see it my way. The idea that I'd willingly attend my ex's wedding felt like betrayal to him. Over the next few days, the tension between us grew thicker. We argued, sometimes quietly, sometimes loudly. The love and trust we shared seemed to evaporate as suspicion took hold. I kept wondering, was I wrong? Was I really disrespecting him by accepting that invitation? Then came the night that changed everything. Jason came home after work, sat me down, and said something I never thought I'd hear from him. "If you're going to your ex's wedding, maybe we don't belong together." His voice was low, but it shattered me. I pleaded with him, told him I loved him, and that this wasn't about the past. It was about facing it head on, so it wouldn't haunt me anymore. But he shook his head, his decision final. That night, Jason left. I sat alone in the dark, the invitation glowing on my phone, feeling more isolated than ever. The day of the wedding arrived, and despite everything, I decided to go. I dressed carefully, trying to blend in, feeling every emotion swirl inside me. Nervousness, sadness, even a strange sense of anticipation. Walking into that elegant hall filled with familiar faces was surreal. There he was, my ex, standing at the altar, happier than I'd ever seen him. Our eyes met briefly, awkward but honest. I realized then that this wedding wasn't just a celebration. It was a goodbye, not just for him, but for the version of myself I used to be. As the ceremony unfolded, I felt a bittersweet mix of closure and regret. Watching him promise forever to someone else made me confront what I had lost and what I was still fighting for. I thought about Jason and wondered if things could have been different. Maybe if I had chosen differently, if I hadn't accepted the invitation. After the wedding, I tried to reach out to Jason. I wanted to explain everything, to fix the rift between us. But he was distant, hesitant. He told me he needed time, that my decision had made him question everything about us. It hurt deeply, but I understood his feelings. Sometimes love isn't enough to bridge the gap that mistrust creates. In the weeks that followed, I reflected on what had happened. I realized that accepting the invitation wasn't just a simple gesture. It symbolized the fragile boundaries between past and present, trust and doubt. I hadn't intended to hurt Jason, but my choice unintentionally crossed a line. It was a lesson I learned the hard way. Now I'm slowly piecing my life back together. I'm learning to respect not just my own feelings, but those of the people I care about. This experience taught me that sometimes closure comes not from revisiting the past, but from protecting what we have in the present. If you ever find yourself standing at a similar crossroads, caught between old memories and new love, remember this. Respect and trust are the foundations of any relationship. Sometimes saying no is the greatest act of love you can give to those who matter most. This isn't just about a wedding invitation. It's about the choices we make and the consequences that follow. And for me, it was the moment I realized what truly matters.